Okay, that wasn't working for a second. Okay, guys, so I finally just got done with all my baking, so that's done. It's been hard to stay away from it, but my nuts have really helped me. They're so good. My mother-in-law tried them, and she's like, oh my gosh, those are amazing. I wouldn't be able to, like, stay away from those. I'm like, yeah, they're pretty good. So I don't feel any neglect towards any of those other sweets. I'm glad everybody else can enjoy them, but these are for me. Now, if I were going to make them keto, I could make all those treats keto. The thing is, they're more expensive and people aren't used to those tastes. So a lot of times when you make them for mass groups of people won't eat them because they're not as sugary or anything that they're used to. So I just made regular treats. I had a friend request me make some, and just happens that I am a decent baker, so everybody wanted some. Now what I'm showing you here, oh my gosh, guys, this is my favorite meal, one of the easiest things to do. Who doesn't love spaghetti? And what I'm happy to tell you is that this is one of like my most favorite meals. It's healthy and it's the closest to what real spaghetti tastes like to me. There's a lot of things you can make that are keto and they're like pizza, and you're like, this is good, but it doesn't taste like pizza, or you know, different things like that, and you're all excited because you're thinking it's going to give you that same taste as before. Well, spaghetti squash spaghetti will not let you down. Now, I was so busy, guys, I did not make a video for this one, so I thought I would just explain it to you and tell you how I make this. So, really easy. You're going to get one spaghetti squash. I get a smaller one. I try and make sure it's nice and firm. I knock on it a little bit. Then what you want to do is you want to cut that in half. You're going to scoop it out. Now, the trick about getting a good spaghetti squash, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I tried spaghetti squash. I didn't like it. And a lot of times they cooked it wrong. They didn't know what consistency they were looking for. And so it was either undercooked or overcooked, or it was just such a mess. So all you do is you want to clean it out. So you're going to scoop it out just like you would a pumpkin. You clean out the seeds. Then you want to take your coconut oil, and I just get a spoonful out, put it on my hands, and I rub it all over the inside and everything of that spaghetti squash, on all the flesh. Then you're going to do it to the other half. Then you're going to put those face down in a decent sized, thicker, at least 1-inch pan. Then what you're going to do, because a lot of times people dry it out, and it doesn't taste very good that way. So you want to put about like, I don't know, a 1/4 inch to 1 inch of water in there. And that's going to help it keep moist. You want to keep the water moisture in it. It's a squash. That's what they are, is a bunch of water, basically. So you're going to put that in the oven at 350. I bake mine for about an hour. I just kind of know how to do it. The top will almost kind of be, actually, I'll show you. So the top, when you bake it, because it's upside down like this, it almost gets a little indented on the top. You can kind of see, or just like a little squishy. And what I'll notice is I'll put my fork through it. See how easy that is? It didn't even take me a lot of effort. It's almost actually coming through the bottom now that I did that. And it should be so tender that you should literally just be able to pull it apart. You know, like I'm barely touching it. It's just coming apart. And you'll see that it's almost just kind of crispy around the edges, and it looks super soft, almost like a different color. And that means it's kind of caramelizing itself. That means it is ready. So don't be afraid of overcooking squash. It's a lot harder to overcook it than it is to undercook it. Hi, Sadie. So don't be afraid of spaghetti squash. This can make as hash browns. It can act as pasta. But spaghetti is my favorite, and it's pretty easy, and especially if you're dairy-free. Well, this is an easy one to do. I'm going to put this back because it's kind of leaking on me. So that's an easy one to do. I can cook that up the night before. Then for the protein I chose turkey. The reason being is this is my food prep for tomorrow for a volleyball tournament. Like I've said before, I don't like the beef when I'm playing volleyball just because it feels too heavy. I don't feel like I'm digesting it as quick. Versus the turkey, I like, and I think it just tastes better. It tastes more like beef than chicken does to me. So I prefer turkey spaghetti. It's just my favorite. And This my whole family likes. They can't even tell the difference of regular spaghetti or not. It's when I'm having a large guest over and it's quick, it's easy, where my family is like, oh, I'm not sure about keto or whatever you're eating, so sometimes it's hard to prep all that stuff. Boom, spaghetti squash. Most people love spaghetti, so if they like spaghetti, this is something new for them, and they're like, oh, spaghetti squash. And usually what I'll do is I'll cook up some noodles on the side too. And so I'll say, hey, try this. It's really good. And a lot of times people try it and they're shocked and they'll eat it all like that. They're like, I didn't know I could just enjoy vegetables and not feel like I'm missing the pasta. Then if someone tries it, they're like, not my thing, I can't handle it. Then I'm like, all right. And then I pull out my pasta and be like, there you go, regular pasta. But most people don't even know the difference. So if you want to have company over, this is a really easy go-to. This is what I do for everyone. And then when I'm at volleyball, people are like, what is that? I'm like, it's spaghetti. And I'm like, that's not like spaghetti I've seen. What kind of noodles are those? I'm like, spaghetti squash. And now it's most of my friends' favorite. They're like, oh, you've got your spaghetti again? I'm like, yeah. And so it's pretty easy. It's super fun. It's just one of those things you can get kids to eat. You can get adults to eat. And a large group of people tend to like this one. So I just want to share this with you, even though I didn't do a whole video on it. But I hope this helps you guys. If you have any more questions, leave them below. Oh, and don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe.